On my wedding day, everything looked perfect. The flowers were beautiful. The music was soft. People were smiling. But inside, I was not happy. I was nervous because I had a secret. A big secret. Daniel, I was not marrying him for love. I was marrying him for money. Then he looked into my eyes. He smiled, and he said something very quietly. I know why you married me. My heart stopped because he was right. My name is Anna. I am 24 years old. And this is my story. I did not have an easy life. I lived in a small house with my father. He was very sick. Every day he needed medicine, and the medicine was very expensive. I worked 2 jobs, morning and night. But it was not enough. We still needed more money. One night, I sat next to my father. He looked tired, very tired. He held my hand and said, Anna, I'm sorry. I did not understand. Sorry for what? I asked. He smiled, but his eyes were full of pain. I cannot give you a better life. That night, I cried. The next day, everything changed because I met him, Daniel. He walked into my workplace wearing a black suit, calm, quiet, confident. Everyone noticed him, but he was only looking at me. I did not know it yet, but that man would change my life forever, and not in the way I expected. I first saw Daniel at the restaurant where I worked. I was tired that day, very tired. But when I looked up, I saw him. He was sitting alone, quiet, watching me. It felt strange. I walked to his table. Hello, sir. What would you like? I asked. A coffee, he said. Just coffee. I nodded and left, but I could still feel his eyes on me. The next day, he came again. Same time, same seat. And again, he watched me. This continued for 1 week. Every day he came. Every day he said very little. And every day I felt more nervous. Then one evening, everything changed. The restaurant was quiet, almost empty. He called me to his table. Sit down, he said. I was surprised. Customers don't say that, but I sat down. He looked at me carefully, not like a stranger, like he already knew me. Anna, he said. My heart jumped. I never told him my name. How do you know my name? I asked. I know many things about you, he said. I felt uncomfortable. I wanted to stand up, to leave, but then he said something that stopped me. Your father is sick. I froze. How do you know that? I asked. I can help you, he said. Help me? No one had ever said that before. What do you mean? I asked. I will pay for all his treatment. All of it. The hospital, the medicine, everything. But then he added something that changed everything. You just have to marry me. I could not speak. I just stared at him. Was he joking? Was this real? I don't understand, I said. Why me? That is not important, he replied. What matters is your answer. My mind was confused. My heart was racing. This was wrong. I knew it was wrong. But my father needed help. That night, I could not sleep. I kept thinking about his words. I will help you. Marry me. The next day, I made my decision. I went back to him. I looked into his eyes, and I said, "Yes, I will marry you." He smiled, but something about that smile did not feel right. It was calm, too calm. And in that moment, I felt something strange, like I had just made a mistake, a very big mistake. After that day, everything happened very fast. We got married in just 2 weeks. No big celebration, no friends, just a quiet wedding. It did not feel like a real marriage. Then I moved into his house. It was very big, very clean, very quiet. Too quiet. The first night, I felt nervous. I did not know what to expect. But Daniel, he did nothing. He showed me my room. Yes, your room, he said, not our room. I was surprised. Is something wrong? I asked. No, he said. I want you to feel comfortable. Comfortable? This was not what I expected. Days passed, then weeks. He paid for my father's treatment, just like he promised. The hospital, the medicine, everything. My father started to feel better. For the first time, I felt relief. But something was not right. Daniel was always kind, always calm, always polite. Too perfect. He never got angry, never smiled too much, never asked me questions. It felt like he was waiting. Sometimes I would catch him looking at me, not like before, not like a stranger, but like someone who knew me. One night, I could not sleep. I was thirsty, so I went downstairs. The house was dark, very quiet. Then I saw light from his office. The door was not fully closed. I walked closer, and I heard his voice. He was on the phone. She is doing well, he said. She still trusts me. I stopped breathing. Who was he talking about? Then he said something else, something that made my heart race. Something that made my heart race. But she still doesn't remember anything. Remember what? At that moment, I realized something. This was not a normal marriage, and Daniel was hiding something. Something about me. That night, I could not sleep. His words stayed in my mind. She doesn't remember anything. Remember what? What was I supposed to remember? The next morning, I acted normal. I smiled. I spoke softly, like nothing was wrong. But inside, I was not calm. I started watching him carefully. Daniel was the same. Calm, kind, quiet. Too normal. At breakfast, he looked at me and said, "Did you sleep well?" "Yes," I said. "I slept well." That was a lie. I needed answers, and I knew one thing. He would not tell me the truth. So I decided to find it myself. Later that day, he left the house. For work, he said. As soon as the door closed, I stood up. My hands were shaking, but I walked to his office. The door was closed. I stopped for a moment. Should I do this? Yes. I opened the door. The room was clean, organized, perfect. Too perfect. I looked at the desk, the drawers, the shelves. Nothing strange, nothing unusual. "Why am I doing this?" I whispered. Then I saw something. A small, locked drawer. My heart started beating faster. I pulled it. It was locked. I looked around, then I checked the desk again. Under some papers, I found a key. My hands were shaking as I picked it up. This is wrong. But I continued. I unlocked the drawer. Inside, there was only one thing. A photo. I picked it up and looked at it. My hands froze. It was me. But I looked younger. Maybe 5 years younger? And I was not alone. There was someone standing next to me. A boy. No, not a boy. Not a boy. Not a boy. Daniel. My mind went blank. I had never met him before. So why was I in this photo? And why did I not remember it? At that moment, I understood something. Daniel did not choose me by chance. He already knew me. And I was about to find out why. I stood there, holding the photo. My hands were shaking. My mind was full of questions. I needed answers, but before I could think more, I heard something. The front door. It opened. Daniel was back. My heart started beating fast, very fast. I quickly put the photo back, closed the drawer, locked it. Calm down. Act normal. I walked out of the office just as he entered the house. "You're home early," I said. "Yes," he replied. His eyes stayed on me. For a moment, no one spoke. Did he know? Did he see something? That night, during dinner, everything felt different. He was quiet, more quiet than usual, and I could not stop thinking about that photo. Then suddenly, he spoke. "Anna." "Yes," I said. "Do you trust me?" That question, it felt heavy. I don't know," I said. He nodded, like he expected that answer. After dinner, he stood up and walked toward his office. I followed him, Slowly, I stopped near the door. It was slightly open. And then I heard his voice again. "She found something," he said. My body froze. She's starting to remember. Maybe sooner than I thought. Remember? So it was true. There was something in my past, something important, something he already knew. But why didn't he tell me? And what else was he hiding? At that moment, I realized one thing. This was not just a marriage. It was a secret. And I was finally getting close to the truth. That photo changed everything. I could not stop looking at it. It was me. I was sure. But I did not remember that day. I did not remember that place. And I did not remember him. My hands were shaking. My mind was full of questions. I needed answers. Now. That evening, I waited for him. I sat in the living room, holding the photo. When he walked in, he stopped. His eyes moved to the photo in my hand. "What is this?" I asked. He did not answer. "Daniel, what is this?" He took a deep breath. Then he said, "You were not supposed to find that." "Answer me," I said. "Why am I in this photo?" He looked at me quietly. Not surprised, not scared, just sad. "We met before," he said. "No," I replied quickly. "That's not true." "It is true," he said. "It was 5 years ago. You saved me." Saved him? I had nothing, he continued. No money, no home, no one. I was lost. Then I met you. You gave me food. You spoke to me kindly. You helped me when no one else did. I couldn't remember, I said. I know, he replied. You were in an accident. My heart dropped. You lost part of your memory, he said. You forgot me. I stepped back. My mind felt heavy. All this time, you knew me? Yes, he said. And you still made this deal? This marriage? This lie? It was not a lie, he said. You married me for money, but I married you because I never forgot you. I could not speak. My heart felt heavy. My mind was confused. Everything I believed was wrong. And for the first time, I didn't know what to feel. After that, the room felt very quiet. I could hear my own breathing, slow and uneven. I looked at him, at Daniel. This man, my husband, was not a stranger, but he was not someone I remembered. I don't know what to say, I whispered. You don't have to say anything, he replied. I just wanted you to be safe, to have a better life. Safe, better life? Those were the reasons I married him, but not for love. I felt ashamed, very ashamed. I used you, I said. He shook his head. No, he said. You did what you had to do. But now you are free. Free? I asked. If you want to leave, you can, he said. Leave? I looked around the house, the quiet rooms, the safe life. Then I looked at him again, a man who remembered me when I forgot him, a man who helped me without asking for love. a man who loved me. My chest felt tight. Something inside me changed. I don't remember the past, I said, but I understand your feelings, and maybe we can start again. Not as strangers, but as two people who try. Together. He did not speak, but his eyes, they said everything. And for the first time, I was not afraid of this marriage. This time, I wanted to stay.